great job at TCU, but the men getting after it today in Big 12 play. All right, second quarter underway. Low scoring. Neither team shooting the ball very well by their standards. Let's see if that changes. Hull back on the floor for the Pilots. Burnham backing down. Hull, ball fake. Puts that ball on the deck, near turnover. Look at Heidi.
So Heidi needs to get involved. Fajeda must get involved offensively. She hit some big threes yesterday. She's quick with the dribble. Can they get her involved?
Fajeda can't hit the layup. Heidi, ball knocked away, and the play is whistled dead. Wow. So Hull picks up the foul.
That's her second.
Yep.
Some aggressiveness from Fajeda, starting to get involved offensively. There is nothing to be shy about in this game. You got to go.
Hull picked up that first foul early in the first and sat for a long time. Starts the second quarter, picks up foul number 2. 4 on the shot clock. Murat looking to step through. Not there. Heidi just plucks it out of midair. Burnham on the run. There's the trailer.
Great job by Murat.
Wow, I'll say.
Get yourself into the hole and follow the ball.
Just clever on that weak side for the pick.
Schuler sitting with the 2 personal fouls. Bolden is out there with her 2 personal.
And on the other side of the ledger, number 16, Hull, sitting with 2 fouls for the Pilots. Fajeda. Murat so dangerous, short on that shot. Burnham looking up. Bolden applying a little pressure. And now Meek will set up in the half court. One of the best assist to turnover kids in the WCC. Takes care of that ball, gets her teammates set up. Here's Meek. Backdoor not there. 8 on the shot clock for Burnham.
Travel.
Burnham dragged that foot. Schimmel played pretty good D.
Here's the pressure and the mindset for Oregon State. You have to be ready for this every time you're inbounding the basketball. It's not going to go away. You don't break it a couple times and then they just wave it off. They just keep coming at you.
Shear onto the floor for the Pilots. Sitting for just a bit. Schimmel with the jab step. And there's the cutting Murat. Catch and shoot. Not there. Here's Shear. She wants to push. The trailer Burnham. Ooh, Fajeda with the block from the weak side. Here comes Bolden.
Yeah, we talked about Oregon State needs her energy, and you saw some of it there.
Help defense. Perfect. Dump inside to Heidi. Perfect is right.
Penetration from Bolden. Just get it up there and let Heidi just touch it and use the backboard.
You bet. Sucked in the double team. Smartly delivers the goods.
Fajeda again at the rim. Denial.
How active and impactful is Kat Fajeda. Here she is.
Guarding that three-point line now after she's made a couple in this tournament. Look how far out they're trying to push Heidi.
Bolden 3, splashes it home. Well, we heard the whistle. Let's see if good. Okay. Which gives Oregon State its first lead of the game.
And Bolden knocks down the 3. A 32% three-point shooter, and Heidi's going to get tagged with that one. Reese will come in. Heidi will leave. Very impactful minutes from Sela Heidi.
Well, she's got 2 fouls now, but you're right.
What a story she is, Ann. All those years at Cal, all those injuries, 8 surgeries.
Finding a home where her mother played standout basketball at Oregon State. Burnham.
They are really trying to go at Schimmel, and Schimmel's not fouling, standing her ground, say, try to score over me.
The freshman, former walk-on Schimmel has been a heck of a story for Oregon State and playing the tough D. Reese had a notion. Ball on the deck. Reese. My goodness, Kelsey Reese, another and one opportunity.
You know, we don't think of Kelsey Reese as a player who puts it on the floor into the teeth of this zone defense, but she gets away with it and handles that contact. Looked a little similar to that game winner. That was on the right side of the floor versus the middle of the floor, but fired up.
Burnham with that foul, her first, team's second. Reese with that game winner in the quarterfinals. Her reaction was priceless.
How about this run? 10-0 run for Oregon State.
Wow. The Beavers starting this game so slowly offensively, staying poised and patient in system, and they've got the lead now. Fraley can't get it home.
I love the call. You're trying to go ISO on Reese and just attack her with a quicker player.
And there's the heat that we've been talking about, and the travel will go against Bolden and Oregon State.
And it's those kind of errors, and you get one here and you get one there, and at the end of the game, there's like 8, 9, 10 of them, and it costs you a ball game.
Oh, Alexis Mark was wide open on that inbounds play, clapping for it. Pilots couldn't find her, so they'll set up in the half court.
2-3 zone. Corner and baselines wide open.
Kind of a lazy pass by Shear, and you know who, Fajeda jumping all over that.
Now this zone is really stretched out. So if you can just find a seam either with a dribble or a pass.
This Oregon State bunch, an unbelievable story. Starting the season 0-6, all losses double figures, and then they just kind of started figuring it out. Oh, we've seen Alexis Mark do that time and time again.
The acrobat, 12 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, and the pressure and the heat.
That's just tightrope stuff. With the sleight of hand finish, Alexis Mark.
But every possession, you got to think about getting yourself to half court before you can initiate your offense.
Wide open as Schimmel didn't get a catch and shoot moment, so she goes all the way to the cup.
How about Allie Schimmel? Walk on. Got a scholarship at the Christmas party.
Man, I haven't gotten a Christmas card like that ever. So how cool is that for the youngster?
Oh, we've talked about it. It was the best gift her parents could get, not writing that tuition bill for the second semester. And
The pick
is what Kat Fajeda does.
flying in. Oregon State starting to feel good about itself here. What a second quarter for this Oregon State bunch.
Kat Fajeda unleashed. Portland, Alexis Mark at the reverse. And then Oregon State, Schimmel says, I just don't shoot the three. I can put it on the floor too. And then looking a little bit like Cheryl Swoops, get out in that passing lane and finish it. Woo. What a story. Sela Heidi, 6'7", in her 5th year. The transfer from Cal out at North Bend, Washington. A difference maker in this game. 8 minutes, 6 points, 7 rebounds. Just do what you do. Don't try to do too much. Run the floor. Keep an eye on things. Put your hand out and say, let me get set. Move into that space. Nice job. Just catch. Don't try to make any more of it. Don't bring it down. Don't put it on the floor.
Wow, you talk about making something happen in a short amount of time, and don't forget the one block, too.
And her mom's in the house here today. Met her a little bit earlier. A legend, one of the all-time greats.
Sissel Pierce, to Mary's point, you drop that name in Corvallis and everybody says, oh, what a player. The reverse, not there.
I think the surprising thing for me is that Oregon State is playing this well with Schuler on the bench, just cooling her jets till maybe halftime now.
So Schuler on the bench with 2. Bolden has 2, but he is on the floor.
And Hull continues to sit for Portland. So you lose your big 6'2" player. It certainly helped Heidi get it going a bit.
Reese steps into the 3, and that's all Kat Fajeda. Double teaming and finding her buddy.
But Kelsey Reese has arrived in this ball game.
17-2 Oregon State run. Reese in game 1, 25-12 in the Oregon State victory in overtime.
Oregon State doing to Portland what Portland usually does to teams.
My goodness, what a run.
After a stone-cold, frozen start from Oregon State.
Scoop into Fajeda. There's the double.
Well, that was just a good luck possession so far.
Schimmel. The storybook continues for Allie Schimmel. 7 straight field goals made for Oregon State.
Oh, they're going to get Schimmel with the foul. Saw that inside out. Fajeda surrounded. Everybody loses track of Kelsey Reese. Mistake. She can knock it down. And Schimmel, tremendous range, no fear. The reaction from Murat.
Schimmel's grandfather, Larry Steele, one of the greatest Portland Trailblazers to ever play, part of that 1977 championship team. Grandpa is in the stands and so proud of his granddaughter. Allie coached by her dad. Mom was a great player with Scott Ruick's wife in college. It's just crazy. Shear into trouble, blocked. Shear and Oregon State's defense playing tough.
And I think that's one of the reasons there's going to be a WNBA team in Portland. The history of basketball in the state of Oregon runs deep. Oregon State, the University of Oregon, all the success between those two programs. Portland State, just the love of passion for women's basketball in this state is something to see. The ABL team as well back in the day.
Oh, man. I remember that one well. All right, 2:10 left to go in the second quarter. One dominated by Oregon State. Neat cannot lose Bolden. Bolden does a great job avoiding further foul trouble. And here comes Oregon State. Do they have numbers?
Corner, Schimmel. Can they find her?
Nope.
She cannot be any more open.
So Alexis Mark will check in. Portland absolutely frigid since leading this thing by 6 a couple of times. Overall, 4 for 24 from the field, the Portland Pilots. This is a team that leads the WCC in scoring and just about everything else. But it's been slow, tough sledding at this point.
But Ann, let's go back to yesterday. Washington State absolutely drilling Portland in the first half. Everything going right. They're breaking the pressure, looking great going into halftime, and the third quarter happened. So this is a Portland team that has no problem playing from behind once halftime's over.
And they could be doing that again as we get close to the break. Burnham picking up her second. You're reading my mind, Mary. I mean, Pilots put on a clinic in the second half. They will not be down. They will adjust.
I mean, I was concerned yesterday. I'm not concerned today for Portland.
Offensive rebound. Jump ball stays with Oregon State.
I mean, here's the graphic of Portland's third quarter yesterday. A 19-2 run, 11 points off turnovers. But it wasn't just that. It was the points off offensive rebounds as well. The combination was devastating.
Ooh, blocked by Mark into the hands of, Hull and Reese to the Pilots. The Pilots just punishing Washington State yesterday, Mary, on the boards, especially on the offensive boards. You know they're not going to let up. There it is. That's what the Pilots needed. Burnham at the cup.
And the quick hitter. Great pass inside. And here comes the heat.
Murat uses the baseline, picks up the dribble. Look out.
Sideline.
And Ruick is reading Mary Murphy's mind and calls the quick timeout. Oregon State by 10 with a minute to go in the second. Great.
And this is what you cannot do against Portland. When you're breaking pressure, do not bring the ball up and then pick it up right past half court. You are in the Bermuda Triangle. It is over. You're in trouble. There's nowhere to go.
So a quick timeout by Ruick bails out Murat. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Here's Schimmel. Good shift off the bench for Schimmel. Picks up the dribble. Reese now with 10. Shot clock winding down. Bolden. Jab step. Steps back. Back rim and off. Another rebound for Burnham. 30 seconds left to go in the second quarter. 6-second differential. Shot and game clock. Now 10 on the shot clock for Burnham. They get Murat. They sure do. Murat is going to pick up that foul.
Burnham, the leading scorer for this team, 8 points in this ball game. He's gotten to the free throw line a couple of times.
Only the third personal foul on Oregon State. Murat only her first personal.
Out of the man-to-man, back to zone.
Should say team foul, my bad. All right, 4. You got to do something if you're Shear. She likes that pocket 3.
Oh, great look.
Yep, it was the look that Shear wanted. That is for sure. Not able to knock it down. So a 27-17 lead for Oregon State with a scintillating second frame.
This Portland team is so high scoring. They average close to 80 points a game, and they have 4 second quarter points.
It's halftime here at the WCC Championship. After the break, we will get you to the ESPN studio. Oregon State rolling. We are in Las Vegas for the WCC Women's Tournament Championship game. Oregon State down early, roaring back to lead this title tilt. It's been a fun second half or second quarter. If you are an Oregon State fan, they just came out with the big meat on.
Absolutely, and the ESPN tagline is anything can happen. Well, guess what? Here in Vegas at the Orleans Arena, it is happening. This Oregon State team is just coming out of nowhere, and what a great second quarter in particular.
How about the bigs for Oregon State? I mean, they did their job down low, didn't they?
Yeah, they really struggled through the first 2 games of this tournament. They need them to win this ball game, and they have come through in the biggest of ways so far.
So we're going to take some quick look at highlights. We're going to start with Sheila Heidi off the bench. She was fantastic.
8 minutes, 6 points, 7 rebounds. Keep it easy, run the floor, get ready for the O-board, get into the space. Oh, I got the pass, even better. Great dish. And then Kelsey Reese has struggled throughout this tournament. Got it going in a big-time way. 9 points, 3 rebounds, 15 of the 27 points coming from the bigs. And they certainly have benefited from the foul trouble of 6'2" Trista Hull for Portland. She spent a lot of this game so far on the bench.
And the numbers
needs to find some answers.
Numbers don't lie, Mayor. I mean, Oregon State coming to life after really struggling in that first quarter.
And the defense of Oregon State, the 4 points they gave up, the fewest points scored, their defense was amazing.
And for the first time all season, the Portland Pilots, who pick your pocket at every turn, do not record a steal. You just don't see that.
And to think that Oregon State did that with Kennedy Schuler on the floor for the entire second quarter.
Schuler playing with the 2 fouls, Bolden with 2 fouls, Heidi with 2 fouls. On the other side of the ledger, Hull and Burnham with 2 fouls for the Pilots.
But if you're Oregon State, and I'm sure Scott Ruick said this, buckle up, because everyone saw that third quarter last night.
So third quarter underway. WCC Championship game here at the Orleans Arena. Fajeda.
Oh, my goodness.
I guess you pick up where you left off, Oregon State.
We have talked about her development. The transfer from Baylor, a complete non-factor in the Baylor program, comes to Oregon, struggled early, and has absolutely blossomed the last couple months.
Cat was huge in that victory in the semifinals against Gonzaga with the 19 points, the 3 triples, 8 for 8 from the free throw line, drawing 7 fouls. Hull rimming out
That's been falling for Trista Hall.
Schuler. Hole playing the help defense. Reese with the travel.
Nice recovery, strong recovery from Meek that just kind of took away Reese's rhythm. And this is what you have to do if you're Portland. Get back to who you are. You need to get steals, you need to be dynamic, and you need to be disruptive in a major way.
Pilots with a 22-2 run in that victory over.
Foul on Schuler, that'll be number 3. Shot by Hall goes up. Now let's watch Hall. You know when you miss. She just follows her shot, and you can see Schuler say, I'm going to try to get there and get the box out. She is so late, just body checks. Big time.
So again, 3 fouls on Schuler. Huge. For the moment, she remains in the game. There's the double team. Ducks her head. And able to find Heidi wide open.
That's the thing that Washington State did such an exceptional job in the first half yesterday.
Great answer by Oregon State. Hull short on that shot as well. Schuler thought she might have a little bit of a lane to the cup. Mark comes over to play the D. 32-20, early third quarter. Winner of this game punches the ticket to the NCAA tournament. Fajeda. Oh my goodness.
Charge.
We will go the other way as Hull steps in and plays the D.
And think about that decision by Hull. She's got 2 personal fouls. We're breaking pressure. Count some jerseys. Someone's not where they need to be. Hull, you get a little greedy and you start inching up. You always have to count jerseys. Who's behind you?
Pilots could use a run. As we mentioned, they had a huge run in the third quarter against Washington State. Mark going right at Schuler. Long ball, Meek, back rimming off. Look at Burnham chasing it down.
That's what they do.
Shear, wide open.
You feel it, don't you? It just starts humming Pilot way.
Look out. There's that trap. Bolden.
They spend a lot of time and a lot of energy breaking their pressure.
Use a little clock, too, to do it. And here's Fajeda looking for some help. 9 on the shot clock. Ball on the deck against Burnham. The block is going to go against Burnham. She has 3.
Pass comes inside, and just a great decision by Mark. You know, she turns around, there's 6'7", looking her in the face. Don't force it, just get it to a shooter, and they need to get Shear going. A very quiet first half from her.
Oregon State looking for a cutter or an open 3. Air ball with 6 on the shot clock. So Burnham will sit with the 3 fouls.
Schuler plays on with the 3 fouls.
Cat and mouse game between these 2 good friends, Mike Meek and Scott Ruick, both having great coaching stints at George Fox College in Oregon. Hull's just not going to quit firing.
She's not.
Same spot, 0 for 3 there. Fajeda steps through and gets her home.
Meek got all set up to take the charge, and she just stepped right by her.
Fajeda dynamic. Meek almost throws it away. I love it. Just keep shooting.
She sat a long time in that first half and just felt like she needed to break some of that rust off. Oh, they could have got.
Mogul finally gets nicked for that foul.
Could have gotten Fajeda with a little bit of an offensive. Here's Fajeda. Nope, sorry. I am not giving you a charge, Meek. But look at all this space. All right, I'm just going to... The threes weren't flowing, so I'm going to just step in here, shorten this up a bit.
34-25, under 6 to go in this third quarter. Portland trying to come back. Meek and Schimmel. Schuler still on the floor in foul trouble, doing a great job to avoid further trouble. Oh, a little contact that Bolden creates and scores.
Beautiful job just moving it over to her left hand, protecting the block. Very controlled by Bolden. Right now, Ann, they're doing a nice job of matching Portland, not letting Portland go on the big run.
Yep. You're reading my mind. There's punches, there's counter punches.
Oh, inside, it is a war.
So Fajeda picks up that foul, her second.
It really was one of those, you could just flip a coin on who you give the foul to.
That battle down low has been something. Technical foul on the Portland bench. We're told it's called on Mike Meek.
You've seen a lot of Mike Meek over the years, Ann. Have you seen him get many tees?
No, I mean, I've seen the vest man get pretty cranky on occasion, but him getting a tee is a rarity.
Costly.
Fajeda, who has been white hot from the charity stripe as of late, gets one of two. 37-25, Oregon State with the possession.
See if this fires up the Pilots.
And that might have been what Meek was trying to do. We'll see.
Normally he doesn't need to fire his team up. They just are kind of fired up all the time.
Schimmel wide open, rimming out, unlucky. Heidi, wow, Heidi just takes it away off the head of hole and scores.
And if any of us were 6'7", that's exactly what we would do. Just go get the ball. You don't need to initiate any contact.
Largest lead of the game, you're looking at it for Oregon State. There's the back door. Great help defense by Fajeda. And into the hands of Schuler and Oregon State.
How about Reese doesn't start this third quarter? Heidi does, and the impact Heidi's had.
Hole at 6'2", Heidi at 6'7". Wrapping it around.
Again, offensive foul on that penetration and kick.
So Fajeda picks up her third. Oregon State maintaining a healthy lead. Look at Heidi, and never brings it down. It's a layup drill. Mary mentioned it before. George Mikan would love this. Oregon State rocking and rolling. On ESPN. As always, we've got you covered on Selection Sunday. Once again, all starts at 6 Eastern with Sports Center on ESPN. Reese and the fellas look at the men's field of 68. Brackets are announced, followed by bracketology with breakdowns of each region. At 8, the women's field of 68 is revealed. Bracketology as well, and a complete breakdown. That's 9 Eastern on ESPN2.
Burnham to the table. She'll be checking back in with the 3 personal fouls. Things have not gone well for Portland in her absence.
Here's Hull on the perimeter, the half court for the Pilots. Heidi, oh, she wanted that one, and she got it.
Offensive foul, Heidi, and that is her third.
She rips down that rebound, gets a little contact, and starts swinging the bows.
Block shot there, nice and clean. And you can see moving from left to right, just get off me.
That's an easy call to make, and Hull takes a tumble.
Just so pivot the opposite direction.
Pilots perfectly executed.
So the unforced error takes an opportunity away from Oregon State and just hands on a platter. 2 points to Portland.
Pilots waiting to jumpstart a rally, looking for something to get them going. They still trail by 12 with 3:45 left to go in the third.
Back into the matchup. Right in the middle of that zone.
Extra pass. Bolden.
Outstanding ball movement. They don't come away with points, and now we are off to the races.
Sheer. Wild shot. Good defense by Schimmel.
Nice job trailing the play for Bolden with the aggressive rebound.
Missed opportunity for the Pilots. Fajeda.
I love these cuts to the middle.
With quick hands. Heidi, yep.
Tack on another one.
Number 4 on Heidi.
So you think she has 2 personals, one, the rip around, and now that one. And Kelsey Reese back into the game. And one of the most impactful players for Oregon State will sit. Significant foul trouble for Oregon State.
Heidi picking up 2 in a hurry. All right, so Burnham on the floor in foul trouble as well. She is going to be critical to this Pilot push. If there is one, it's going to be Shear. It's going to be Burnham.
In a game where Portland is shooting so much worse than they normally do, just making it up at the free throw line, just finding a way.
Pilot shooting 21% from the floor. It's just unbelievable. Great extra pass. There's the block by Mark.
Out of nowhere, Alexis Mark just flying in there without creating contact.
Transfer.
5-second call.
And there's the defense that the Portland Pilots love. And you see Burnham looking at the Pilot crowd saying, get into it, get into it.
It's like in your house in the summer and the air conditioning goes off and the heat starts going up inside. That's what's happening to Oregon State right now.
The Pilots looking for the three-peat. The last time that happened, Gonzaga in 2009, 10, and 11. But a tough road to hoe for these 2-time defending champion Pilots. Front rim and off. Look at Reese.
Their ability to one and done these Portland Pilots has been pivotal.
Cold shooting for the Pilots from the outside. That is for sure.
They are going to get Reese. Wow, he's Hall with the first one. Hall gets away with one. Reese gets caught.
Wow, so Reese picks up her second personal foul.
The first one. Nothing called. Nope, that's the second one.
So Hull doing a really good job of hanging tough in that play.
Especially with the foul trouble she's had.
Exactly. Burnham leaning in. She'll go to the line.
Scott Ruick doing a slow burn on the sidelines.
Schimmel picks up that foul. Her second. More tosses for Burnham. She is a perfect 6 for 6 from the charity stripe, is the veteran.
You can really see the difference having Hull on the floor throughout this third quarter has done for Portland.
Good look at Ruick. And 2 more tosses for Burnham. 6-0 Pilot run.
Turnovers starting to add up for Oregon State. Free throws starting to add up for Portland.
Murat. A lot of tall timbers there. 9 on the shot clock. Wow, what a stick for AJ.
That is called a pressure release valve.
Oregon State not panicking and getting a good look for a really good long distance and mid-range shooter. Still a double-digit lead for Oregon State. Every time Portland punches, Oregon State counters.
Oregon State playing a lot more man-to-man than they normally do.
Reese looking to play the help. Forces the pickup of the dribble by Meek. 4 on the shot clock. Nothing is right. Air ball. Fajeda gets across that timeline. And here's Murat.
Get away from the sideline. Unless you're going to shoot it.
1 minute to go in the third quarter. A quarter dominated for the most part by this Oregon State bunch. Murat again. Reese, offensive rebound. Look at the quick hands by Burnham. Here she comes.
Schuler's got to be careful. Great job by Burnham. She'll get the team organized.
Sees a seam, Schimmel hustling over, stepping through. Look at Mark trying to hustle it, taps it into the hands. Burnham, nothing there. Burnham again, and she'll go to the line. Relentless.
That really defines Maisie Burnham, doesn't it, Ann? Relentless. She was 1 on 5 in this. Never stopped. The 6-footer. The senior started her career at Eastern Washington, 4 years at Portland. From Spangle, Washington. If you're driving from Spokane south to your right, to the west is the exit for Spangle.
WCC Men's Championship game is going to be something. St. Mary's Gonzaga tonight, of course, on ESPN. The Heat. The release. The release for Kelsey. Flags it down, takes a moment, and misses. Can she follow? Jump ball. Oh, my goodness.
Quickest jump ball. Wow.
Oregon State fans. Wow, it looked like Burnham just took a swipe at it.
I mean, it is not CYO. This is a championship game.
Shot clock off, game clock at 5. Meek, you got to hurry now. She picks up her dribble. She's got to put it up. Kind of a busted play. Nothing there for Mikkel Meek. 42-32. Oregon State with the lead. Fourth quarter. Here we come. Day in Las Vegas. We're at the Orleans Arena. WCC Women's Championship game. Oregon State leading Portland 42-32. It was that second quarter that really did the trick for Oregon State in terms of establishing the lead. And they go even up in that third quarter with the Pilots. ACC Men's Tournament commencing today. One final already in. Notre Dame with the 2-point victory over Pittsburgh.
And what's astounding in this ballgame is Portland is shooting 21% from the floor. They only have 9 field goals. Their fewest this season was all the way back in November against Eastern Washington when they had 21.
The Pilots lead the WCC in so many offensive categories, including field goal percentage and points scored, as the fourth quarter begins play with Meek picking up that foul, her first, team's first.
For Oregon State, if you can get Portland those team fouls, just keep them even, you're really helping yourself out a lot because you're just getting buried at the free throw line so far.
10 on the shot clock. Here's Reese. Scoops it. Keeps it high. Fajeda stepping through. Follows her. Oh, miss. Ken Fajeda. Play of the game so far.
How does that even happen? The will of Kat Fajeda. The drive gets up in the air, kind of runs out of elevation, and then like a volleyball setter just kind of takes 2 hands. Let's watch it. We're just going to set that for the spike. Well done.
And Burnham picks up her 4th. Early in the fourth quarter, she will sit. That is huge. What a follow by Fajeda.
Surrounded by Portland Pilots.
You look at this Oregon State team. A team that, again, started this season 0-6, and all of those losses were by double figures. They were getting boat raced. And slowly but surely, the veterans like Schuler.
I like how Burnham is immediately. I thought you were going to get her back in.
They changed the foul, we're now being told, to Krista Hull. Krista Hull with the foul, huh?
Hull stays on the floor.
So Burnham with the 3 fouls. Same with Hull. Back rim and off. Ball up for grabs. blocked with that foul. Her second.
2 team fouls on Portland, 1 on Oregon State.
Burnham back in.
Zone for Oregon State.
Meek, long ball.
Yeah, had plenty of time.
Splashes that one. A rare triple for the Pilots at this point. Oh boy, Schuler looking for some help.
It's like she was being chased down the alley by like 5 Pilots. There was nowhere to go. Everywhere she turned, there was a white jersey.
2 seconds to get it across here.
Looking towards Reese with the length. And now here comes. Good job by Reese, and just get rid of it.
(45-35), 8:25 left to go in this fourth quarter.
Just a real mistake by A.J. Murat. You're there, no one's on. You put the ball on the floor, and you just attract attention and another jump ball.
Possession arrow favors the Pilots.
I love the fans.
Portland faithful up. Meek. Front rimming off. Good board. Fajeda, she wants to push. She's got Shear to beat.
Call the charge.
Yep.
Boy, these officials are making a lot of big calls. Game-changing calls both directions. Was she set? Was she moving?
Well, that's 4 on Fajeda. Double for Fajeda with the 11 points and 10 rebounds. They have got to have her on the floor. Hull, back rimming off. Another rebound by Fajeda. She has been sensational today. Here comes the heat. Keeping that ball alive is Schuler.
Schuler's hair is on fire trying to break this pressure.
You got to remember, she hardly played a lick last year with Donovan Hunter. Keys to the car. Schuler just doing it all. Look at Reese. Follow. Another jump ball called. Ball stays with Oregon State.
Yeah, we need to start tracking as a stat jump balls. Goodness.
Meek will take a seat. Mogul in.
Heidi with 4 fouls. Fajeda with 4 fouls. Schuler with 3. Schimmel with 3.
7 on the shot clock now for Schuler. Guarded by Shear.
Offensive foul.
So Schuler picks up number 4. This game is chippy, it's physical, it's interesting,
and a lot at stake.
A trip to the NCAA tournament. Portland trying to three-peat. That hasn't happened in a long time in this conference. And Oregon State, in its first year in the WCC as an affiliate member, looking to win the title. Wide open, Burnham, money!
How do you lose track of Maisie Burnham?
It's the closest Portland has been in a long time.
Just a beautiful job. Drive. Watch Burnham. Just floats out. No one sees her. Their backs to her. No one has any idea where Maisie Burnham is. Everyone on that bench does, though. Plenty of time. Lines it up. Holds the follow through and screams at her bench, let's go.
Will play on. Schuler finds a helper in Schimmel. The veterans of this Portland bunch wanting to three-peat. They have been so steady for Coach Meek. What a play! The lob!
Oh, Murat just got chucked in the chest.
Murat is down. Hull is down. A.J. Owen. Hull bleeding. Oh,
Coach is coming
Trista,
out.
yep. Trista Hull, the senior transfer from Boise State, to the bench. Murat, slow to get up, but she's on her feet.
Here comes the alley-oop to AJ. And the left elbow comes down.
Looking at the severity of the contact on the last play.
Inadvertent elbow.
Both directions. And the shot to the chest of Hall to Murat.
A basketball play all the way, but both players really feeling the effects of that. We'll take a quick break. Back in a moment. Fourth quarter. We're getting close to stretch run time here in the WCC Women's Championship game. 6:24 left to go in the fourth quarter. Oregon State trying to protect the lead. A lot of players trying to protect more foul trouble.
It is deep, deep foul trouble for Oregon State. Maisie Burnham is on a mission. Hull is no longer on the bench. They have moved her to the locker room.
There was a review, incidental contact, nothing upgraded. Hull, we saw blood on the face. Don't know if it was nose or mouth, going to the locker room. Shear gets blocked, hits the deck hard, and Schuler will walk it up.
Fifth block of the game for Oregon State.
Murat loves the mid-range. Can't get it home.
Mark's been quiet.
Shear's been quiet.
Great job in transition D. But they lost the shooter again. Burnham and Shear say we do not want our season to end here.
This is the closest the Pilots have been since 21-15 in the second quarter, and there's a lot of time left. The Pilots, the two-time defending champs, looking for the three-peat. Oregon State, its first year as an affiliate member of the WCC, looking for the trip to the NCAA tournament. Schuler can't get it home. Fajeda.
Who are you, Kat Fajeda?
Goodness, Kat Fajeda.
Volleyball coach is going to come and talk to her. Oh, my goodness. Offensive foul.
Wow. Wow. 49-41. Kat Fajeda having herself a game and a tournament. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement and benefits plan that works for your team. We're in Las Vegas, WCC Championship game here at the Orleans Arena. 49-41, Oregon State with the lead. Under 5 to go. Kat Fajeda has just been stealing the show.
6-foot senior out of Brazil by way of Baylor. Just the energy defensively, giving her team a lift. Steal, 2, 3. Under control. Drive. Step through. Don't charge it. Tip it in. And then an offensive rebound amongst the trees. And you come away with 2.
A double-double for Fajeda. Her stats speak for themselves. She has been dynamic this entire tournament.
Ooh, in the trap. Again, cannot emphasize this enough. The sideline is not your friend when you play Portland. You must keep the ball in the middle of the floor. It's like a magnet for traps.
So Murat picks up her third, team's fourth. 4:55 left to go in this contest. And here's Shear.
Mark.
Heidi back on the floor. Jump ball. It'll stay with the Pilots. And remember, Heidi is playing with the 4 fouls.
Uh-oh. I'm having a conversation.
Yep. Smiles on the face, but they ain't laughing. Shear, long ball. Schuler stepping in for the rebound. Missed opportunity for the Pilots to draw ever closer. Reese looking for help. There's the cutter, and now Murat dumping it inside Heidi. That's high-low, baby.
That's perfection. Use your twin towers. Burnham's like, I got to get two in a hurry.
Burnham.
Number 4.
Yep.
This is a beautiful, beautiful job against this zone. Get it inside. Everybody goes to Reese, and behind it, no one sees 6'7" Sela Heidi, who's been sitting because of foul trouble. She comes in the ball game, and she's been doing that the whole time. She's been on the floor.
Heidi in double figures for the 9th time this year. As Mary told you, finding a home at Oregon State, enjoying her best year after all those injury-plagued seasons. Man, has she been tough for Ruick.
Well, there's just so many players around the country who suffer injury after injury, but it's the passion and love of basketball that keeps bringing them back. Sela Heidi is on that squad.
Murat, 2 big tosses. It's a 12-point lead for Oregon State. Portland needs a run, and then they need some stops. Mark again. You bet.
Pressure. Great release by Schuler.
Smart by Schimmel. Looks like a veteran there to bring it out.
Well, she's got her coach right behind her, telling her exactly what to do.
The clock is in Oregon State's favor, as is the scoreboard. Murat, catch and shoot. Nice job by Mark to tip it to her teammate, and here comes Burnham. Corner, sheer, wide open. Ooh, that's a look that she normally buries. Ooh, that would have changed things. Oregon State.
3rd game in 3 days, Ann.
And both of those games going down to the final seconds, the final breath of each game. Heidi, gotta be a travel.
That's where you need your perimeter people, just to show a target. Just kick it back out, move, just repost. We'll get it back into you. You don't have to make something out of that. It's prime time for Portland. It's go time.
Pilot bench is up. Oh, how they've missed the play of Trista Hull, who had to go to the locker room after taking an inadvertent elbow to the face. Long ball, spear.
They're getting some great looks in. But this is a Portland team who's just been dancing with close games over the final couple weeks, maybe 3-4 weeks of this season, starting back in early February.
Oregon State hitting a major stride, going 7-2 to end the regular season. And it looks like Reese is going to get nicked for that foul.
I mean, they've won 13 in a row, but you go back to at San Diego, they win that by 2. At Pepperdine, they win by 2. At St. Mary's by 2. Washington State by just 5. Santa Clara by 7. At USF by just 1. They have been dancing with close games since February.
Portland's last loss was to Gonzaga January 2nd. Their first loss of the season after boat race in the non-con was against this Oregon State bunch. For the 40th year on ESPN, Men's Champ Week continues tonight with the Horizon League men's title game. Robert Morris taking on Youngstown State. Then it's our WCC Men's Conference Championship game, St. Mary's and Gonzaga.
Those free throws.
Oregon State fans, Mary, starting to feel it. 2 minutes to go. Schuler will bring it out. Papa, not there. Travel. Oh, boy.
How about the decision by Schuler? Coming of age this season, Michael Meek saying, oh, my goodness, we got to cook up 9 points in a hurry.
Schuler, and fabulous story for this Oregon State bunch. Again, didn't play a whole bunch last year. She's the captain of this ship in terms of running the show, and she has been stellar. Portland Pilots averaging nearly 80 points a game, sitting on 44. 5 on the shot clock. Schuler steps in.
They're going to get Heidi over the back.
Heidi talking to Benny Luna, and if that is indeed the case, that is her 5th personal foul. She has had herself a game off the bench.
What a contribution, 12 points, 9 rebounds in 17 minutes. But the clock is stopped.
You mentioned before this game, though, Mary, how desperately Oregon State needed help from the bigs, and they've gotten that from both Heidi and Reese.
Well, they certainly have. Reese, 9 points, Heidi 12. But the rebounds, keeping this Portland team off the O boards.
And the Pilots shooting but 23% from the floor. This is a club that averages nearly 45% from the field. Not today.
Here's the pressure.
Schimmel gets over the timeline. Finds some help in Schuler. A minute to play, and Meek has no choice but to just foul Fajeda.
And when you think about Oregon State, the 4-game losing streak in January, they lose to Portland, they lose at San Francisco, they lose in overtime again to Pacific, and they lose to Washington State. And since that point, 9-2, the only losses in overtime to the Gonzaga team, and 8 at St. Mary's by 3.
They come into this tournament as the 4th seed. The last time a 4th seed won the WCC tournament, Portland Pilots in 2020.
They knocked off number 1 yesterday. Can they knock off number 2 today? We're going to know in less than a minute.
Fajeda again doing the dirty work. Burnham trying to sell it into the hands of Schuler. Wow, bodies flying again. A lot of frustration for the Portland Pilots.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, the last time these two teams played, you're calling it a boat race. It was all Portland. They shot the heck out of the ball. This senior-laden squad, they won 3 of the last 5 WCC tournaments, and trying to wreck the party is Oregon State.
Oregon State losing every big-name player to the transfer portal last year when the Pac-12 blew up. Every single big name player.
And we've seen them all over the country having great seasons.
Sure, Godspeed. But Murat and Schuler, Heidi and Reese, they stick around. And Root brings in Bolden. He brings in Fajeda. He gets Schimmel out of 3A, Corbett. And he does as good a coaching job as we've seen in his tenure at Oregon State.
Well, I know nationally there's a lot of great coaching jobs, and certainly Scott Rueck is not going to get Coach of the Year. But to have this team just 50 seconds away from an NCAA bid with this team after what happened last spring, an Elite 8, and then a complete decimation of your roster is one for the ages.
Oregon State with the healthy lead now, but it took some heart-stopping moments to get to the finals.
Kelsey Reese at the buzzer. They beat a valiant effort from the San Francisco Giants. And then yesterday, Kennedy Schuler with her 3rd game winner, her 3rd of the season. Game clock running down, splits it, scores it. Number 1 goes down.
And Oregon State ever closer, almost turning it over. There's just no time. You got to chuck it up. Burnham does just that, rims out, heartbreak. So the Beavers will call a timeout with 35.6 left in this game. The Portland Pilots, their bid for a three-peat. Oh, boy, Mary, it would take a miracle for them to come back from this deficit.
And before the game, conversations about, do you think that Oregon State can get into the WBIT, the NIT, what do you think they can do if they don't win this game? And right now, they're waiting to punch their ticket for the NCAA tournament.
Ruick early on in this season, Mary, says, I'm in my 29th year coaching and I'm helping people make layups. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. Fast forward to yesterday's semifinal thriller. And Ruick, there's a togetherness, a grit, a selflessness that allows days like this to happen. The story of this club amazes me and getting better all the time. Ruick, what he did with Oregon State while they were in the Pac-12. Special stuff, but man, Murray, this has got to go right up there with some of his favorite moments as a head coach.
And as Scott has said all season long, nothing has come easy for this team. Every game has been a puzzle. But a big part of the puzzle has been the emergence of Kat Fajeda. I mean, we saw her back in November, and we're like, I don't know. And now it's like, wow.
Yeah, now it's wow. Oregon State poised to win its first conference title since 2016 when they were with the Pac-12, the year the Beavers went to the Final Four. Wow. Sydney Weiss, a big part of those championship years, now an assistant at Oregon State.
Kevin Hunter, an assistant.
Yep. Wow. This Oregon State bunch will take your breath away. This tournament has not been for the faint of heart.
It certainly has not.
But today, Mary, after trailing early, like 3-0, 3-2 or whatever, they started getting on track, and that second quarter was a thing of beauty.
And look at Weiss. Her parents flew in just for this game. I don't think even they believe it. And the tagline again for championship week on ESPN is anything can happen. Well, here this week in Las Vegas at the Orleans Arena, anything has happened.
This will be the first time that the Portland Pilots in a championship game setting in Vegas will go down to defeat. It just was not their day, Mary. Burnham catch and shoot. Murat waits for the foul. It happens.
The best scoring team in the WCC, best field goal shooting team in the WCC, averaging close to 80 points a game on this day. Oregon State has held them to 46 points.
It's a different kind of defense that both of these coaches bring, Mary.
Very much so, but despite 21 turnovers and some subs coming in now. Kelsey Reese.
What a game. Transferring in from Utah, as Mary mentioned, having a career year, 9 points, 10 boards, 3 assists, complete game for Reese. Oregon State had to have it.
And A.J. Murat, the one that decided to stay. This moment and what it must feel like for her.
Golden back in. Murat gets a standing O and a hug.
Talked to her before the game, and she said, an hour and a half before, I said, you ready? She goes, let's play right now.
Yeah.
Ready, and we're ready. That is remarkable.
The celebration with these players.
Devastating for Portland.
Good to see Trista Hull back on the bench for the Pilots to join her teammates.
It's going to be a new champion, Ann.
It certainly is. Clock down to 5. Buzzer will tell the story.
Oregon State is going back to the NCAA tournament.
Last year, that magical run with all of those big-name players, they left, and Ruick puts together a roster that will go to the NCAA tournament again as the WCC champions.
If Amazing Burnham and her tremendous career will come to an end.
Pilots with best record ever. Co-champions of the WCC. That hasn't happened since '97. Favorites to win it all with Gonzaga, and yet it's Oregon State, the last team standing.
I don't know if there's Cinderella, but it's pretty darn close. Kat Fajeda.
The transfer from Baylor.
Look at the numbers.
2 off of tying her career high in boards. Oh, the smile, the moment. Oregon State in the quarters and semis had to go down to the final shot, the last tick, the last breath. Today, West Coast Conference champions, yep, they led this thing in double figures from the second quarter on, Mary, and never looked back.
And if you dial this thing back to April, did anybody see this happening? Sheila Heidi, all the pain, all the operations, everything she has gone through for this moment. Selection Sunday is going to be sweet in Corvallis.
Scott Ruud, head bowed and just soaking it all in with what he calls an amazing group that just keeps getting better, and the story as well.
And the legend of Scott Ruud just continues to grow.
Unbelievable. Oregon State, an affiliate member of the WCC, comes in and says, we're champs.
The play of Fajeda, but the play off the bench of Sheila Heidi in 17 minutes of play. Goes 6 of 9, 12 points, 9 rebounds. When they needed it, she delivered. And Kennedy Schuler, who sat for that entire second quarter.
Did a great job of handling the heat. Everybody doing their thing for Oregon State today. So the final, 59-46. Oregon State doing exactly what it needed to do to win the WCC Conference Championship. What a moment for the Beavers, and they are going dancing. For Mary Murphy, our entire ESPN crew, I'm Ann Schatz. Let's get you back to the studio.